Sarah stood. Acting class was about to begin, and as was the tradition, Coach Bobby asked anyone who had any career news to share that news. Tracy, the model, spoke up. "I had my callback for the TV series today." "Which series was this?" Coach Bobby asked. "The one that takes place in the modeling agency. The other one didn't go anywhere, but this one looks pretty good. My agent thinks that this was my last callback. He says tomorrow I'll either have it or I won't." Hi, I'm Neil A. Yeager, and today I'm reading from my novel, Non-Hollywood. Check out this video's description text for more info on me, links to my other books, and news about upcoming projects. This is Chapter 56, Beautiful and Young. "And this is for which type of role?" Coach Bobby asked Tracy. "I play one of the models." Coach Bobby smiled and nodded. "Well, of course you would, sweetheart. You're beautiful and young. But is it a featured role or a recurring role or—" "Oh, I'd be one of the stars," Tracy said. "My agent says I'd have my name right up front with the main star." "Who is?" "He's, what is his name? He's actually a movie star, but he's doing this TV series. He's the owner of the modeling agency on the show. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Not Bruce Willis, but somebody like that." "Somebody like Bruce Willis?" "Yeah, I don't know why I can't remember his name. He's been in like a million movies." Sarah cleared her throat and spoke up. "If you don't mind, Tracy, how much are they going to pay you to star as a model in a TV show with not Bruce Willis?" "I don't know the exact number, but my agent used the word shitload." Excuse me. Anyway, that would be fun." Coach Bobby nodded and said, "Yes, it would." Sarah echoed, "Yes, it would." Coach Bobby clapped his hands together to call everyone to attention. "Okay, let's get started with our warm-ups," he called out as the class filtered out onto the main floor. Sarah took a deep breath and headed toward the floor as well. As she walked, a thought occurred to her. The thought was to wonder why she hadn't ever tried to be closer to Tracy, to be actual friends with her. There were those who would say that one of the purposes of taking acting classes, if not the main purpose of taking acting classes, was not to learn about acting, but rather to network with other actors. It has been demonstrated time and again that your professional network has a lot to do with your chances for professional success. Yet, after all this time, the only person she had thus far networked with was Larry. Well, okay, Jeremy, but really he had networked with her, and in truth he still gave her the creeps. But why not Tracy? True, Tracy was a god-awful, terrible actress, but what did that have to do with a friendship? It was obvious that Tracy liked Sarah. She sought Sarah out at each class, and Tracy was a very nice girl, and always positive, which would be a good balance for Sarah's occasional depression, yet Sarah hadn't tried to befriend her, had, in fact, shied away from her. It was puzzling. As Sarah was making a mental note to try to get to know Tracy better, she noticed out of the corner of her eye that Tracy had grabbed her phone and was answering it as the others began their warm-ups. Sarah turned back toward Coach Bobby just in time to hear Tracy shriek, "Oh my God!" The entire class turned to Tracy. "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yes!" she shouted into the phone. "Yes, thank you, yes, thank you. I don't know what to say, but yes, thank you." A strange quiet engulfed the class. It would be safe to say that the subject of Tracy's phone call was obvious to every person in class. Tracy, a nice girl, a ridiculously beautiful girl who nonetheless had next to no acting skill, had won the role starring with somebody like Bruce Willis. Sarah noticed the silence in the room, even as she noticed the dual emotions within herself. She felt great happiness at Tracy's success while simultaneously feeling a crushing amount of despair at her own failure. Sarah doubted that she was the only one in the room feeling these particular emotions. Yes, thank you. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow, said Tracy, as she hung up the phone, jumped in the air, and shouted, "I got it!" Coach Bobby rushed over to Tracy and he wrapped her in a big hug. He said, "Congratulations, sweetie." She hugged him back and tears came to her eyes. "Thank you, Coach Bobby," she said. Thank you. And I gotta go tell my friends. And thank you, Coach Bobby. Thank you. Everyone in class started adding their congratulations, and Tracy murmured her thank yous all the way around through her tears of joy. Tracy was picking up her things and headed for the door. As Sarah watched Tracy's exit, she realized that she had missed her chance to be one of the friends with whom Tracy was so anxious to share her news. Sarah also realized that she would likely never see Tracy in person again.